Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. I want to take y'all back down memory lane, man. Growing up, I didn't stay with my mom or dad. I didn't stay with my dad until I was about 12, going on 13 years old. And before that point, I stayed with my cousin. You know, it's kind of like a family child. I stayed with I stayed with my granddad and his two sisters. That's why I kind of feel like I have a bit of an old soul. And throughout this, you know, my younger years, I would bounce from household to household. And when I was staying with my cousin, though, and his wife and two children, I was about 19 years old. And I remember I had a buddy, well, I thought he was a buddy, during this time in my neighborhood. And when we would be going to school, we were on the bus. And there was a girl that I was really attracted to. And, you know, I ain't tell nobody, but I told him that I was attracted to her. I was like, man, you know, she looked real nice, man. She looked real nice, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I was afraid of getting rejected, like most men do, like most men feel. Back then, I had a big fear of rejection back then. And, you know, I was like, the cost is, you know, if I go over there and get rejected, I'm gonna feel embarrassed. But then there was a cost that I hadn't really thought about. Somebody else could talk to her and they could get her number right in front of me. And guess who got her number right in front of me? The dude who I thought was my friend. The dude who I thought was my buddy. That crushed me on the inside. It brought me a lot of pain knowing that he was sitting next to her on the bus, you know, talking, her laughing, and I'm over there like, man, that's supposed to be me. I'm supposed to be over there. But I squandered the opportunity because I was afraid of the cost of what if I do get rejected. And so, you know, I say all this to say there's always two sides to the cost. There's two sides of the coin, man. You can either, you know, put in the work and go through the pain, go through the challenge, go through the discomfort of discipline, or you do nothing. And what does this look like in fitness? Sometimes people are like, man, I don't want to invest in a coach. I don't know if it's the right time for me to get training. I don't know if it's the right time for me to start eating right. Yeah, you could say that, but here's the cost of it. Here's the cost behind it. Because most times trainers won't tell you what the reality is. But I get over 100 assessment forms a week from y'all, so I see what's going on with some of you guys and women. You know, I see the man boobs. I see the big, not even just the big ass stomach, but the stomach just hanging. It's like to the point, even if you lost the stomach, you would have to get skin removal surgery because it's gotten so bad. And I can only imagine the amount of shame that comes with that from not being a man, not being able to pull your shirt off and feel like you that guy. You know, not to mention if you have a son or a daughter. You know, you can't really look like that fit, tough dad like other dads if you take them to football practice or basketball practice or if you're at the beach. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a cost, man. That's costing your joy, your happiness, like memories. Like some of y'all, when you're looking back at your photos, and are you thinking happy thoughts when you look at these photos? Or are you being like, dang, man, boy, I need to lose some weight. Man, I was a big boy right there, man. I wish I had me some abs on me. These photos look real nice. I want to show them to more people. You see what I'm saying? It's a cost, and it gets worse than just vanity and appearance. What about your health? If you don't pay pay your dues as far as effort, energy, time into getting your body on point, the cost is, it can also cost you your health. Like, guys, we ain't getting no younger. If you didn't know, we not getting no younger. You know, I'm 33 years old now, and we did a coaching call yesterday. I was talking to my coaching members, and I was like, listen, man, everybody on this call needs to have a health care routine. Healthcare routine, guys, is very important, because if you don't take care of your health, what's going to happen? The high blood pressure, the type 2 diabetes, the massive strokes that cause some people pass away. And then some people who don't pass away from massive strokes, they ain't the same no more. I remember when I stayed with after my granddad passed away, he had a heart attack. He was overweight, truck driver, wasn't taking care of himself. After he passed away, I was staying with one of his sisters. And her boyfriend name was Abram. And Abram, he had gained a lot of weight, and then he ended up having a stroke. But before he had that stroke, he used to talk. You know what I'm saying? He used to go around the house kind of like talking to us and everything. After he had that stroke, I never heard Abram speak another word. And he used to be like kind of drooling out of the side of his face. And I'm like, dang, do you not see that? You know, I'm a young kid. I ain't had no empathy for it because I ain't know what was going on. But now, I'm grown as hell. I know what was going on now. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn. Boy, he went through it. And he wasn't even talking no more. You see what I'm saying? And so, it's always a cost, man. Your health is huge. If the people who are laying on the hospital bed from heart disease, which is the #1 killer in America right now, heart disease, and it can be completely avoided based on the lifestyle habits that we have, the way we eat, the way we exercise, the way we're moving. Very important that y'all get y'all ass up and go to the gym. Some of y'all, I know y'all might think I just be talking shit. You might be like, oh man, Coach just be talking. I don't need to do all that. I don't need to do all that. He just rah. No, I be dead ass. Because people don't think it can ever happen until it happened to them. Or until it happened to somebody that's really, really close to them. See, I'm aware that these things can happen because I grew up around it. You know how people say, oh, such and such big bone. Oh, my mama big bone. I used to hear that too. Then I went to college for exercise science. And I got into the anatomy class. I had to take anatomy 1, anatomy 2. I ain't never hear nobody say nothing about no big bone. My professor, Miss Abbott, I'll never forget her name. Miss Abbott didn't never say nothing about no big bone. When they pulled up the skeleton, I ain't seen no big bone skeletons. Everybody had the same skeleton. Some people just have more weight on their skeleton than other people. And then that's when I realized it. My family, we had big boned habits. Big boned habits. And so if you know you overweight and you know that your parents was overweight too, it's because of their habits. It's not because their bones are bigger than other people's. And so you have to change those things. Like, you can change your habits, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, but today. Success is all about just making the decision. Once you make that decision, it's like sometimes when people when they go to the doctor and the doctor like, hey, look, man, you don't make some changes, boy. 3 to 6 months from now, you might be in a real scary situation. And then some people come home and they make a decision. They draw a line in the sand. Like, man, I got kids at the house. I got a whole wife. I done made a decision that I'm about to change. Some of y'all, you're not making the decision. Because if you don't make that decision and you just kind of like sweep it up underneath the rug, you keep on neglecting, I'll be all right. I can go another month. I can go another 3 months. I can go another year. Then that's when things start to happen. Because it doesn't just happen just like that. You don't just get diabetes overnight. You don't just get high blood pressure overnight. It comes from consistently, chronically, over time, just pushing it off, making excuses, procrastinating, just doing it over time. This is a cost. It's a cost to not taking action, guys. The high blood pressure, the type 2 diabetes, that happens over time. It's because you may not see it on the outside, but it's manifesting on the inside of you because you're neglecting it. A lot of y'all, we all live very demanding and stressful lives. So imagine if you're going through all this stress on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Plus, on top of that stress, you got weight issues. Plus, on top of those weight issues, now you developing high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. What do you think is going to happen? It's like a ticking time bomb. You just never know when something going to happen. Who wants to live like that? That's a whole lot of worry. The worrying is stressful too. And so, it's a cost to both sides of it, man. We all have to pay the cost. We either go to the gym. We all go through the discomfort, the soreness. Yes, I go through being sore too, y'all. Yes. We go through the days of not feeling motivated to go to the gym sometimes. That's a cost. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to pay that cost of going to the gym and still getting it in anyway? Eating the foods when I don't really feel like eating certain types of food, eating healthy, I'm still going to do it anyway. When I'd much rather eat me some Oreos with milk. I'd much rather eat just drive to Waffle House every day and just eat Waffle House. It's easy. It's simple. It's convenient, right? Or am I going to pay the cost and be disciplined? Do the things that I know I'm supposed to do. Do the things that even if it's uncomfortable and I don't really feel like doing it, I do it because once I get done with it, I feel a little bit more proud of myself, man. I actually feel a little bit more proud of myself because I know I really didn't want to go to the gym, but I did it anyway. And you actually feel better from it. Ain't that crazy? Versus if you don't do it, you push it off. Not only is it making your situation worse, you feel worse about yourself. You don't feel as proud of yourself because you know you're not, like, we have something called a conscience. We know if what we're doing is right or wrong. We know if we're really taking care of ourselves. Some folks, you know, who I communicate with and talk to, they be depressed and sad. And I know things happen. We lose people in our families. Things happen. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it's because your ass ain't taking care of yourself. You're not proud of yourself. You haven't done anything. When was the last time? Think to yourself. When was the last time you did something that made you proud of you? You should be doing something every single day that makes you proud of you. Like when I wake up and I do these lives every day, I post content every day, that makes me proud of me. Because not only am I doing the things I know I'm supposed to do, I know I'm giving value to the world. Like I feel like I have a rich spirit. Because I put so much into myself, I have so much more to pour to y'all. But if you don't pour into yourself, if you don't put these reps in, you're not going to feel proud of yourself. You're not going to feel like you that guy. You got people who can talk it. They can talk it all day. Yeah, I want to lose this. Well, I'm about to lose this stomach. But they ass ain't putting in the work. That's what I call fluff confidence. Fluff confidence. If they truly had the confidence, they'd be willing to invest in themselves. They'd be willing to take their ass to the gym. They'd be willing to do what's required to get that weight off, not just for them, but for the people that they love and care about. You see what I'm saying? And so, all I want to say is this. Either way, whether you join a coaching program, whether you buy that book, whether you buy that course, you know, whether you start going to the gym or not, it's a cost behind it. If you don't, there's a cost to doing nothing. There's a cost to procrastinating. There's a cost to making excuses. Like when I make these posts on Instagram and Facebook, folks be like, "But I don't really like eating meat." Well, okay, what you go do? You just go be negative and just sit with that shit, or what you go do? Well, I don't like drinking almond milk. Well, you just go stay negative, or you go find a solution. Like, what you go do? And so it's all about, okay, even if this is not the way you want to do it, what are you going to do? Because if you just make excuses and don't do nothing, it's costing you. This day, once it's gone, it's gone. This month, once it's gone, it's gone. This year, once it's gone, it's gone. Some folks, they look up a year, 10 years later, and they have nothing to show for it. Nothing. And that can make a person feel regretful. That can make a person feel depressed. Because they're not putting in the reps. They're not doing the things that make them proud of them. At least you can stack wins on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And so when you look back, you're like, boy, you know what? It wasn't perfect, but I'm proud of me, man. At least I did something. At least I tried. And then after so long, once you start trying, like trying is what I call you putting you in motion, right? But at some point, if you try hard enough, you're going to go from being in motion to being in momentum. This is where you need to get to in your life. You get into momentum. Once you get to momentum, now you're starting to feel real proud of yourself. Now you're starting to feel like you in flow, because you're not just going through the motions no more. You like, shit, boy, I'm doing it. I've been working out for a couple of weeks now. I ain't going back. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to that point, folks start seeing you glow. Folks they don't even know what's going on different with you, but they know something. You walking different, you talking different, you standing up straight. They know something different. That comes from you going through the space of going through that phase of motion, and now you in momentum. This is where you want to be at. And when you get into the momentum, don't let your foot off the gas. Don't lose 10 pounds. Oh, fuck it, I'm done. Don't do that. That's the worst thing to do. That's like some folks who they want to be able to make more money to provide for their family, but once they start making a little bit, they let their foot off the gas. Oh, shit, I ain't got to do that no more. Man, I done hit that first 5K month, but I ain't got to do that. I'll start back up later. That ain't going to work. Keep your foot on the gas. That's one of the worst. That's one of the things that cause so many people to fail, and they don't even realize it. You letting your foot off the gas. Once you get in motion, ride that wave into momentum and take that motherfucker to the max, because it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. Yeah, it's gonna cost you if you stop. It's gonna cost you time. It's gonna cost you a lot of disappointment. For some of y'all, it's gonna cost you some shame and embarrassment, because if you got family and kids, they see your ass quit. They see you stopped when you start that fitness journey. They see you stopped when you start that business that you said you was going to take it to the max. When you said you was going to be able to provide for the family and take everybody on this vacation. But they seen your ass stop. And so, what you go do? That's a cost. I don't want to live with that cost. I'd rather live with the cost of putting in the work, putting in the time, doing the things consistently, even when I don't always feel like it, because I know I'm going to feel proud of myself. And I've just never seen anybody that grind and work their ass off not succeed. The people who don't succeed, who just always doing it, those are the people that just be in motion. Like, people who just, they go to the gym, but they inconsistent with being in the gym. That's what you call motion. They just doing some shit. You don't want to just stay in motion. At some point, you got to wake up and put yourself in momentum by saying, okay, I've been doing this workout thing for a minute now. It's time to go ahead and take this thing to the next level. I can't be looking like I'm pregnant out this thing, and I'm not pregnant, and I know I'm working out 3-4 days a week. You see what I'm saying? And so at some point, you got to wake up and be like, I got to go ahead and make this thing get some results. I got to go ahead and get some fruit for all the labor I'm putting in. You see what I'm saying? So with that said, that's all I wanted to share, y'all. Hopefully y'all found this helpful. If you did, be sure to share the podcast and hit that 5-star review button for your boy, man, so we can go ahead and grow the movement. That's how these platforms push it out to more people. They look at the reviews and stuff like that, the 5-star reviews, they'll push it out to more folks. And we growing this movement, baby. We out of here.